This is the XRP 1-year overview reading for the year of 2023. It's currently November 23rd, 2022, 6:20 a.m. Eastern Time. XRP at the time of this reading is approximately 37.5 cents. So the overall theme and behavior, we have a rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden move higher and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. It's crossed with a rally along the diagonal trend line, meeting a resistance level and marking an important high on a multi-year chart, or important crest or high on a multi-year chart. Behavior around the high, we attempt to establish support. We attempt to establish support at the high, so we may move sideways, rotating sideways along new support at the high, at least temporarily, and then it looks like there's a notable drop off of that, like a failure off of that the year's high. Behavior around the low, the lowest low for the year 2023, we have a decline through multiple support levels on a 1-year chart into the low. When we take a look at the 10-year, where I think we are, there's two possibilities. So we went from this kind of like sideways jagged rally here in 2020 to a low in 2021 to a high in 2021, and then we declined back down in 2022 to a low. And so we should see a notable move to the upside, reaching for distant resistance, so probably for this. Now, if I'm wrong and this card here is the low and then another push to reach for distant resistance, then that would put us in the virtue card for 2023. Three crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level, which very well could be what this is here. But that would mean that the next real move is going to be a big move to the upside, pushing the upper end of a range higher, so probably a new high higher than this price level that we had of like 175 or whatever, roughly. So either way, super bullish, guys. So in January, there's a prominent low, our first prominent low for the year. There is a notable decline off of multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance somewhere there in January. And towards the end of the month of January, there's a fast sudden move higher out of that prominent low for the year. Okay, so the decline, there's multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance in early January, and then we decline from that hard into late January, and then there's a notable move, a fast sudden move to the upside, turning resistance into new support as we move into February, and we meet a resistance level that's prominent on a 1-year chart. From that resistance level, we break down with multiple support levels on a 1-year chart. That's off of a overbought peak or crest. And it looks like there's a crest or a peak here in February, like the third week of February, followed by another that's selling from the overbought peak or crest down to a trough on the cusp of February and March. That's a prominent low. It'll stand out on a 1-year chart. There's some sideways rotation, it looks like, around the March month's low, maybe like the second week of March. Important price level, a critical price level, technical price level on a 1-year chart is highlighted around the March month's high, and that's towards the end of the month, maybe probably even it's actually, that high is probably in April. Prominent high for the year, maybe the high for the year, here on the cusp of March and into April. Wherever that high is, March or April, there's a sharp drop off of it. Market like a notable drop off of it. And then we rally, looks like, back along a diagonal trend line from that drop. rally back along the diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance, meeting secondary resistance, and then pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels with a notable reversal. Notable reversal on a one-year chart standing out towards the end of April. And that brings us to another trough. It looks like another prominent trough somewhere around the cusp of April, May. And then we have a notable rally on a one-year chart standing out, a diagonal rally. And there'll be a fake out, brings us to a high, maybe the same high that we saw on the cusp of March, April, here again on April, May. But there's like a fake out or an intentional shakeout of some kind, some triggering of falsely of an indicator to create impulsive decisions on the part of retail investors. So be careful for that. That's on the cusp of April, May. And then something to do with Congress may be highlighted around the May's month's high. Matter of fact, that fake out, shakeout, I think is probably towards late May, not early May, probably towards late May where that prominent high is. So we have a high a prominent high and maybe the year's high on the cusp of March, April, and then another prominent high, maybe the same high towards the end of May, it looks like, and from that we decline pretty hard. So between those two highs, there's a notable decline and a prominent trough for the year as well. But we will see a lower price level as well, so that's not the lowest price level. Bound by range in late May. Bound to the upper end of a range in late May, and we fall pretty hard in like the fourth week of May. There is an unexpected move to the upside, standing out on a one-year chart in early June. Really a big move to the upside. We may push the upper end of the range higher, so we may see a higher high here. I don't think we do, but there's a possibility that we do. There's a big move here in June, like the earlier part of June. Looks like we probably break through a resistance level around the low for June. That's what creates a big move. But then towards the end of June, off of a peak or crest, I'm advised to open up some protection. There's a decline through multiple support levels, actually two support levels, and then bump along sideways for a bit, and the breakdown through multiple support levels, come to a prominent support level for the year in early July, after selling from like a near overbought peak that formed in the end of June or here in early July. And then there's a move off of that support level in early July back up, like a notable move back up again. A failed attempt to break through that key resistance there towards the end of July, and then we sell from that peak or crest down to and through a support level, and then do a U-shaped reversal below that support level, come back and reuse it as support. Yeah, so there's like a little bit of a rally out of the end of July into August, but then it breaks down through a diagonal trend line. There's a pretty significant trade opportunity around like the beginning of August, at an August peak, and then we decline pretty hard into a year's low in August, or possibly in September. It looks like probably on the cusp there between August and September. So we declined pretty hard. It looks like the rally ends somewhere in August. There's like a rally out of a low in July into August. Somewhere mid-August that rally ends, and there's a decline with halting of the bullish trend with a decline through a significant support level on a one-year chart. That decline continues into a low. That decline continues into a low in that decline continues into September, but then there's like in early September there's some crisscrossing back and forth through the same price level, a little bit of a bullish behavior in early September. We may see another peak there in early September. And then from that peak, we decline to and through a support level, meet another support level, rotate sideways along that support. Looks like in the second or third week of September, there's a prominent low there. Maybe in the end of September, but probably the third week of September, there's a prominent low for the year. That's probably the lowest low for the year. It's the lowest low for the year. And then it looks like after a sharp drop into that low. Sorry guys, I got some music playing in my ear here. After a sharp drop to that low, it'll stand out on a one-year chart like the drop in January. There's a fast sudden move higher off of some sideways rotation near the lowest low there in September. There's a fast sudden move higher and a failed attempt to break through a key resistance level on a one-year chart as we enter October. So there's a rally into like a little bit of a rally into October, a failed attempt to break through key resistance. We have a move higher, prominent move higher on a one-year chart to reach a prominent crest or peak. And then we do a full retracement of that move back down. There's a cash out opportunity there as well around that prominent move higher and that full retracement around the peak of that. And then it looks like there's a big move out of oversold territory towards the end of October, followed by a decline in early November. Yeah, so a big move higher out of late October into a November high that's like a move for a distant resistance level, and then we decline out of that. Wow, a lot going on, guys. A lot going on. So there's a decline there between like the peak in October and the early November, and that decline offers an opportunity to open up a long position because then we push towards the end of the month of November where there's a breakout and we pushed for a distant resistance level. When we hit that distant resistance level, there's a notable decline in early December, increasing with momentum as we move forward into the month. A sharp drop towards the end of the month of December. sorry, so there's a decline into December, increasing with momentum as we move forward into the month. And then off of the December low, there's a sharp move to the upside. It'll stand out on a 1-year chart, creating a peak that's easily missed, and then we decline off of that peak. So the rally out of the December low into the peak is an opportunity to open up a short position. And then the sneak preview for 2024, we have some erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level, and revisit a crest that was recently a past opportunity. When we look at the 10-year, 2024 is that big push there, so we probably see this like 175 range at least, maybe push higher. And here's that erratic behavior, so we'll be coming out of like this crisscross back and forth, which we probably see here in 2023 for the most part. It looks pretty accurate, and then out of that we push pretty high. So that's XRP, guys. A lot going on, but I'd say as far as the most prominent important parts, there's a high, the year's high between March and April, and then again between May, like at the end of May, and then the year's low, it looks like, is towards it's like between August, September, but probably closer into September. There's a sharp drop in January, a sharp drop in September, and a sharp drop in December. With the best trade opportunity, it looks like when we're bumping along resistance between the high that we have in the cusp of March and the high that we have in May. We're bumping along resistance in there, and that's an opportunity to open up a short position, close that short position when we're declining into the low, out of the decline in August into the low in September. That's the best bet there for a short position. I'd be opening up long-term long positions in August, in the decline in August into September, and then there's another decline off of a peak in October into November where I would be opening up long positions again as far as, I mean, long positions like out far, like we're talking about like buy and hold positions. And that's XRP, guys. If you want to see more XRP, let me know by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, make sure you follow that rule of karma. If you don't know what I'm talking about, my friends, make sure you check out the video explaining the rule of karma. If you plan to profit from the information on these videos, it's super important that you follow that rule of karma. Otherwise, it's going to bite you in the butt. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one, guys. All right, we're going to do some quick Q&A to see if we can get some information about price levels. For those of you that are interested, the shuffle video was created on October 26, 2022.
This is XRP's one-year overview reading for 2023. It's currently October 25th, 2022, 7:54 p.m. Eastern Time, and currently the coin is 46 cents.
Is XRP's highest price level in the year of 2023 taking place in April of 2023? Yes. Do we see XRP's highest price level more than once in the year of 2023? Yes. Twice, it looks like. Do we see XRP's highest price level of 2023 a second time in the end of May? Yes. Is XRP's lowest price level of the year 2023 taking place in September of 2023? Yes. Do we see XRP's lowest price level more than of the month of? Do we see XRP's lowest price level for the year 2023 more than once in the year of 2023? No. Do we see a high, like an all-time high, a new all-time high for XRP in the year 2023? Looks like it's the same high. Let's see here. Yeah, it's the same high. So we saw $1.75-ish, a little over $1.75, $1.81 it looks like. So we should see roughly that same price level. And that's XRP, guys. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly, make sure you spend that money out of love. As long as you spend that money out of love, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions, my friends. I'll see you on the next one.